with a day 5 packed full of exciting high school basketball. Welcome to the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. I'm JB. Joining me in the booth is Trey. Trey, this should be a really intriguing matchup. We're looking forward to a good game. Calvary Christian was just one loss.
Yeah, they just had their first loss last game against Paul VI. I'll be interested to see how they bounce back today. I think they have their hands full today with two really good bigs from Petersburg.
I agree, and those bigs were Ladarius Gavon and also Latrell Allman. Allman going to Oklahoma State. Gavon is going to Mississippi State. And I was impressed with Petersburg when I saw them earlier in this event. And King Baycott really caught my eye as well. Freshman, he's the little brother of Armando Baycott and went to UNC. Also was here in this tournament with IMG way back in the day, I'll say. And it feels like forever ago, but the bloodlines run deep.
Yeah. So far, it seems like this game's going to be a very defensive-heavy game. We've had 2 turnovers to start the game on back-to-back possessions, 1 for each team. So.
In the green is Calvary Christian, and in the white is the Crimson Wave of Petersburg. A lot of things that Petersburg has a steep tradition of talent. One of the big talents is Moses Malone, the Hall of Famer, went to Petersburg High School. And I'm going way back. I don't even know if you know who Moses Malone is.
It's a little bit.
Moses Malone is Hall of Famer. Rest in peace. Played for the Sixers, the then Washington Bullets, also the Houston Rockets. Just a great player. Early on here, no score in the first quarter. King Baycott changes that quickly from the corner, and he does not remind me of a freshman at all. He is very comfortable out there on the court.
He plays very poised for a freshman, and I think part of that comes with having an older brother who played Division I ball and is now playing professionally. I think that he's gotten a lot of that from his older brother.
It's a good point. We saw Calvary Christian taking it off the backboard. Good entry inside. Gavon got the shooter's roll. That ball just laid there on the rim and decided it wanted to go in for him. That's when you know you're living right.
Yeah, going back to King Baycott playing composed, that makes me think also of Gaskins, the Gaskins brothers for Columbus. The younger Gaskins, a freshman, but he plays so much more poised.
Yeah.
And part of that comes from being able to watch his older brother play as well.
And I totally agree. And, you know, that's a good point with Gaskins. I think the ceiling's real high for him, I'll tell you that. Only a freshman gets to play with his brother who's going to Miami. They really did a great job today, put on a show, and he got his first start here at the City of Palms. King Baycott tosses it inside. That is Latrell Allman. Wouldn't go for him. Ball was tied up.
I think on that one you have to kick that ball corner, especially against the zone. Getting inside out is going to be a big part of beating the zone.
And, you know, it can become easy to force things. And sometimes as a big, you have this expectation that you should dominate a game, and that's not always the case. And I'm sure you felt that in your career as well, being a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Calvary Christian facing a very good team in Petersburg, and that it will be a foul on Kevin Anderson. I think that'll be his first. Correction, that's his second. Is that correct? I believe it is. Both he and Claiborne have a foul, and he'll come out of the game, I believe. Arkel Crenshaw is in there, number 32 for Petersburg. Shot goes up for Calvary, and that one is going to be nothing but net. from Caden Daughtry, 6'2" junior. He's the 20th ranked player in his class. You can see a little bit why.
Yeah, the one game that I did watch him play here at City of Palms, he was very inconsistent, but I have watched him play prior to that, and he was very, very fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to a good game from him today.
While Ladarius Gavon is dangerous, and he loves to step out and knock that three down, which he just did there. Mississippi State next year, we see him yank down that rebound. Gives it to King Baycott as he heads up the court here, and they look to add to their lead. 1 point lead here over Calvary Christian, right over in Fort Lauderdale. They've had a really good program for the past several years. Calvary in the zone. Gavon is feeling it. Why not? Takes another jumper on the left elbow, and it goes down, and he is into this game big time right now.
He's got 7 points to start this game out of their 10, which is going to be big for them if he continues like this.
Daughtry looking to get one again. That no call. He ran right into Crenshaw, and that one goes up, and Allman can't get it. Blocked by the rim. Good jump stop in the middle. Three ball goes up, rims in and out. Crenshaw with the rebound. Tosses it off to Cameron Claiborne. Gavon is trying to go offensive again, and there is King Baycott. The left-handed jumper is good for Baycott. Only a freshman. The confidence is just incredible. From the first game here at the City of Palms, you could tell that he's a baller. Crenshaw comes down with it. Petersburg looking to get out and run. Allman runs into a defender again. Count the basket. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot. You know, I got to say, if this game continues like it does, it really favors Petersburg to 100%. Get out and run like that. Their bigs are very athletic and can run the floor and fill lanes.
100%. Right now it's only an 8-point game, but it feels like so much bigger of a lead. Just the momentum in the gym and the energy that Petersburg has is good for them moving forward.
I agree, and Allman missed that shot, and I think they might have called a lane violation, or did he make that? He made that shot, correct?
They called a lane violation on Francis Jr.
Okay, there we go. I didn't think I was crazy. I thought that he made that shot. Second shot is up and good, so he does convert. Latrell Allman, 6'9", 230. What a body for a basketball player. The incredible frames that we see here is just blows your mind that these are high school basketball players.
Yeah, a lot of these kids are built for college already as high school seniors, which is crazy.
They really are. And, you know, it's nothing to them, but for us, it's pretty incredible to see this. Shot goes up, contested. Crenshaw comes down with it. They do have numbers, and he'll go with it. Easy score for Petersburg, and that is Kelvin Anderson, the 6'2" sophomore. Petersburg starting 3 seniors, a freshman and a sophomore. Calvary has 3 seniors and 2 juniors in their starting lineup.
Yeah, if you're Calvary right now, you're not really getting a lot of action on the offensive board. So as a head coach, I would tell my guys, send 2 to 3 guys to the glass, and the rest of you get back to limited transition, because that's how Petersburg's getting a lot of their points right now is in transition.
Absolutely, and that's a good point, and that's what they want to do, and their defense is helping them get out and getting into those transitional opportunities. They can swarm you on defense, and once again, they've just got the bigs that like to get out and run and fill lanes, and that's so important. Nice look by Baycott. Allman has been in the mix quite a bit this game, getting some good looks as he's floating the lane, really uncontested.
Yeah, I'd like to see him take one dribble and get to a floater instead of settle for the free throw line jumper, though.
So Calvary Christian's got to do a better job of really clogging up that middle. You just can't allow these players to jump into the lane untouched. You got to put a body on them.
Baycott is doing a good job looking off the middle and making no-look passes to get the defense off, though.
I've noticed that he really has. He's quite a player there with getting his teammates involved as well. That shot is up and no good. Nice look in the corner. That shot is up and missed. So far, Calvary Christian just can't find the mark. But they also are getting some good looks at the basket.
Yeah, this first quarter has been very low fouls, very up and down. Foul count, there's been 3 fouls total in the game, so the refs are kind of letting them play a lot, and it's been a physical game both ways so far.
Winding down the final 10 seconds of the first quarter. 18-9, Petersburg in the lead for this one. Looking to get the last shot. They got to go quick. 3 seconds. Clock expires for the first quarter, and that'll do it. 18-9. It's the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. We'll be back. Getting ready to start the second quarter here at the Geico City of Palms Classic. Thanks for joining us. The Crimson Wave of Petersburg out in front of Calvary Christian. Eagles only scored 9 points here in the first quarter. And defensively, Petersburg has done a good job. We had talked about their defense really leads to transitional opportunities, and that's exactly what we're seeing here with their bigs getting out and filling lanes.
100%. Their bigs are being very active on the glass right now, which is a very good sign for them.
And Latrell Allman going to Oklahoma State, the big guy, getting a lot of touches and not been able to knock those down, but I'm sure as the game progresses, he'll get more comfortable in there. I'm not even sure if he realizes he's getting those open looks as he is, but I'm sure he'll knock them down. And there you see it again. Nice touch over to Gavon. That ball was stolen. It's showtime for Calvary Christian. And Aiden Bolden, a 6'7" senior, knocks it down. And that may be the spark that Calvary Christian needs. They just haven't been extremely active.
Yeah, they really came out and picked up their intensity on the defensive end, flying around looking to trap, and it ended up resulting in a turnover that led to a fast break dunk for them.
It's 30 seconds timeout. We're going to stay here. And, yeah, I think it can, it's really amazing how one play can really, kind of take you into a next level of your game. And, who knows, that might be what we see here. But Calvary Christian, has quite a bit of experience on the floor. 3 seniors, 2 juniors, and they've been in big-time games like this before. And this should really be a solid game.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it, actually. 18-11. I will take this time to tell you, after this game, the Villages will take on Wheeler High School. Wheeler out of Marietta, Georgia. and the Village is just right up the road several hours in Florida. The Villages came into the City of Palms as the 24th ranked team in the SC Next Top 25. And Allman going to the hoop with the left hand, and he put it into a next gear there to get to the hoop.
I'd like to see him keep doing that as the game progresses, because I don't think Calvary has an answer for him at the rim.
Well, there's both of them in there, and we see Petersburg now in a 2-3 zone. It'll be a matchup zone. But I think you're right. I think this poses a big-time problem for Calvary when both of those players are in there, especially with their playing like that. Nice roll for Bolden as he gets another basket. Trying to save the ball is King Baycott. Nice head fake. Gets him up, and he misses the shot. And there's Allman again running the court to get the rebound. You got to love it when your bigs are doing that as well.
Yeah, if you're Calvary Christian on that possession, the rest of your four guys need to fill in on offense. He took the team 1-on-4 and put up the shot, and there was nobody else across half court for Calvary Christian.
20-13, 6:45 left in the second. Thanks for joining us today. It's the Geico City of Palms Classic. We're in Fort Myers, Florida, on the campus of Florida Southwestern College. And listen, if you've not been here, you got to put this on your bucket list.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's a really good tournament. This is my first time ever being at the tournament, and I'm very, very impressed by the caliber of play that I've seen here.
Yeah, it's first class from soup to nuts, and they do a great job here. That foul is on Aiden Bolin. That'll be his first for Calvary. Tossing the ball in will be Baycott. We're going to call that name a lot. And Allman, and there's Gavon. The ball is turned over by Baycott. I made the comment a couple nights ago, and you take the good with the bad. He's going to turn that ball over. It's a maturity thing, but he's going to do more good things than bad for you.
Yeah, that was a great read by number 11, Zoo, to get up and get that steal.
Joshua Jones got the steal for Calvary. Going to work is Aiden Bolden. He's the guy that had the powerful breakaway dunk. Crenshaw in, number 32 for Petersburg. Also number 3, Kelvin Anderson. Baycott, number 5. Number 10, Allman. And number 4, Ladarius Gavon. That's a lethal lineup.
Yeah.
It really is, man. That coaches salivate for lineups like that. And rightly so. Petersburg, just outside of the Richmond, Virginia area. Beautiful area. Been there many, many times. Nice slithering move inside by Daughtry. 6'2", uses his body as a shield as he's going in there among the trees. Dangerous pass, that cross-court pass. Crenshaw was triple teamed. Nice look inside. Bolden had it blocked by Gavon. But not until Gavon committed that foul, and Bolden will go to the line. And he can really get up and climb that ladder.
He can. Going back to what you were saying about coaches salivating for a lineup that's on the floor for Petersburg right now, when your guard that you have on the floor is 6'2" and 6'5", you just have a lot of length out there, and it's really easy to get defensive stops and rebounds and get out in transition when you have that kind of length.
Yeah, it's a luxury, and especially if you get those guards that love to play defense. Wow, you can do some amazing things. And I'm a little surprised that Petersburg is in a 2-3 zone. It is a matchup zone. Thought they would really try to get in that man-to-man defense, but it has been effective. 20-17 as Bolden knocks that one in for Calvary Christian. We mentioned before, number 3, Caden Daughtry, number 20 in the country as the juniors go. It's his ranking.
Calvary's slowly finding their way back into this game right now. As we see a 3 from Kelvin Anderson off the mark. Calvary's just getting stops and getting out in transition and slowly clawing their way back into this game. It's a 20-17 lead by Petersburg right now. If they can keep this up, they'll find their way taking the lead in the second quarter.
Yeah, nothing flashy for Calvary right now. And they don't have that big dominant player, but they are starting to kind of settle into this game. And it takes a while sometimes to settle in. I mean, you know, it's a little cold in this gym as well, in this arena. It has been all week. It's like a meat locker in here.
Yeah.
As Allman puts it down and he got fouled. But, you know, even that to get warmed up and to get a good sweat going. And you can just feel that the Calvary's comfortable. They're starting to settle in, and it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. We already see how it's going for Allman. They just don't have an answer for that big guy. He's been able to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Calvary does put in a couple more bigs at some point just to try to throw bodies at their bigs for Petersburg.
Checking in for Petersburg, number 2, Nyland Robinson. He's a 6'4" senior. This is going to be a lane violation if they don't make it. Daughtry just walked into the lane casually as he was shooting the free throw. Bolden gets tied up and tosses it over the timeline. Daughtry with a long three. Went off the head of Baycott, and that'll stay here with the Eagles. That was a long three by Daughtry, but he had good rotation on the basketball. Calvary Christian, their only loss coming to Paul VI here at the City of Palms. That's a hold on Robinson. That's the first on Robinson. And there's Bolden. He has really been a positive bright spot for this team.
It really is a luxury when you can just throw the ball up like that to your big and let him go get it.
Is that beautiful or what? Almond is putting on a clinic on how to move inside, keeping the ball up, not trying to overpower the rim, just trying to score. Really good player going to Oklahoma State. And that's an elbow into Crenshaw, and they're going to call blocking. Those are tricky calls. I know that the referees are doing the very best that they can. These are very tricky calls, though, when you've got guys set up and, you know, maybe they're below the arc or the line there. It looked like he might have been.
Yeah.
But Bolden goes to the line to shoot.
Going back to Almond on the last possession, we were talking about how much of a luxury it is to just be able to throw it up and let him go get the ball. And then we turn around on the defensive end, and he's guarding 6'5", senior Kenneth Francis, and he's sliding his feet on the perimeter and guarding a guard.
Yes.
So when you have guys like that that are versatile, they're going to find more playing time, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to rely on them down the stretch of games.
Yeah, and, you know, that's a really good point. As you go to the next level in high school, a lot of these guys dominate their competition. Now, obviously, they're here, but you're not playing City of Palms caliber teams throughout your entire schedule. And when you get to that next level, the big guy, Almond's going to have to guard some guards. And, you know, why not start now and do it now against some of this raw talent out here? And you're right, he does a really good job of moving laterally and getting down and playing D. Shot is up by Daughtry, and that's good by the right elbow. He is a good-looking player. This is my first time seeing Calvary, and the more I'm watching them, the better they are getting and the more I like them. And there he is again, Allman. He's just getting the ball too easy in the paint. They've got to put a body on him somehow. And I kind of think what you said earlier is just getting some of these bigs that are over there on the bench for Calvary Christian and just to put a body on. You've got fouls to give. You might want to start thinking about that a little bit.
Yeah, 100%, especially a guy like number 24 that they started, the 6'8" junior. He's a big body. Get him out there, let him put a body on him, and let him get a little beat up physically, get him tired. Just stuff like that starts to wear on the big's legs, and they start to become less and less effective.
Gavon back into the game. He'll be in there with Allman, but Allman has really been the dominant big man in this first half. That shot is up and good for him. And, it's a given when both of these guys go off to college, Gavon, Mississippi State, and Allman, Oklahoma State. They're going to add several pounds in muscle. It's a given. They're going to be chiseled when they get through with their college experience, and that'll be so dangerous to see those guys once they're put through that experience as well.
Yeah, and recently Allman's been stepping up a lot. He's got 11 points right now. He's leading Petersburg in scoring. But Gavon started the game really well. He had the first couple buckets for Petersburg, set them off on the right foot, and then he took a little rest, which is when Allman got a lot of his stuff going.
It's a really unique group out there for Petersburg. Speaking of those two guys with Gavon and then Allman, I think Allman is your power forward, and Gavon is more like your slasher and get out on the wing. And it's really nice to have two bigs like that aren't really suited for the same position because they give you different things.
And it's really nice when Gavon, as a 6'11" big, can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he's only 6'11".
Just a little under 7 feet.
Only 6'11".
Yeah. On the other end, though, Bolden having 14 points has really been a key point for Calvary to start this game so far.
Yeah, he's been a bright spot for them, that's for sure. Claiborne at the line knocks down his first one, 5'10" senior. He's had a good showing here at the Classic.
Bolden does have to be careful, though. He does have 2 fouls right now in the first half.
Baycott's been a little quiet since we saw some of the action at the beginning of the game, and I expect that he'll start to come to life. I mean, he's a freshman. There's other players out there, seniors, that get maybe more of the attention. Allman right now is getting a ton of touches, but I think Baycott can be the difference maker in a game like this. I really do.
Yeah, Baycott started by hitting 2 threes, and then Petersburg has been really looking to go inside with the ball, and once they start to dominate inside, it'll open the three-point line back up for Baycott to start hitting some more threes for them.
I totally agree, and this game, before it's over, can take on a lot of different faces by each team. It's a 3-point game right now. Petersburg leads this one. 2:50 left here in the second quarter. We're watching the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. Thanks for being with us today. This has been an outstanding day of basketball. And there's Bolden on the inside. Great look by Daughtry. And Bolden, how about this? Not only was he in position, but he has really great hands to be able to catch those balls like that.
Yeah, and
that's not easy.
He threw a great shot fake to get the Petersburg defender in the air, and then finished with a strong and one, and is willing his team back into this game with 16 points and a free throw.
Calvary can tie the game. 2:39 left here in the second with this free throw by Bolden. And the shot goes up, and they do just that. So we're all tied up at 28 with just 2:35 left before we hit halftime. Each team really trying to feel each other out, but Calvary seems to they're gaining some of that momentum now in this game, starting with their trap defense now. Good movement by this team as well, and it gets them the turnover. And there's the transition we talked about. Daughtry can't finish, but he got the shot he wanted.
Yeah, a lot of this momentum starts on the defensive end, and they're running a 1-2-1-1 half full court press that turns into a trap in the half court, which is very hard to work with offensively just because they become so active and active hands, and they all sprint back into gaps, which makes it really hard to get the ball rotating easily.
So 31-27, Petersburg leads this one by 3. Just under 2 minutes in the second. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. Back at you here with 1:57 left here in the second quarter. And it's turned into a good one we've been anticipating. Calvary Christian just finding their groove in this game. Bolden has been a big part of that. Also Daughtry, the guard. Silk McSweeney's done a great job here at Calvary Christian.
Yeah, for Calvary Christian, this game is really about them trying to bounce back from their first loss of the year to a very good Paul VI team.
I would say very good. Paul VI came into the City of Palms Classic ranked 12th in the SC Next Top 25. And they are solidifying that and then some with where they are now. They're vying for the championship of the City of Palms Classic.
And if I'm not mistaken, they play a very good Principia team this afternoon.
Yes, that's correct. And, you know, that is one team I have not seen play, and I want to see them play. And I hear they're very, very good. And they beat Columbus handily by 12 points. They beat Wheeler in a thriller. Say that 3 times.
Yeah.
Allman thought about it. It went off of Calvary Christian. So 1:30 left here in the second. Petersburg holds a 1-point lead. And, you know, pretty evenly matched so far. I think the difference maker for Petersburg has just really been Almond. And if he would have made more of his shots even that he's gotten, the lead would have been probably larger.
Yeah, Almond has 11 right now for Petersburg. I think their biggest point needs to be trying to contain Bolden on the defensive end. He's got 17 in the first half for Calvary.
Nice touch pass inside. Gavon can't convert. Second, third chance opportunities, and there's Bolden with a really strong rebound. But you are right. I think that they got to find a way to contain him, and I'm sure at halftime they'll talk about that.
Daughtry's starting to find himself, too. He has 9 points right now in the first half, and he just had that taken transition that went out of bounds, but still Calvary ball. They can't let him get going either. If he gets going, it's going to be a long night for them in the second half.
I totally agree. He looks to be a streaky shooter. As I said, I have not seen them play, but you can just tell that he is a streaky player, and yes, very dangerous, and has really great range. He's not shy about taking that long shot, as we've seen.
No, not at all. And to think that he's also only a junior and he has a whole nother year is scary.
Good follow-up rebound. Shot is blocked, and there is Allman again doing it on the defensive end. Picks his dribble up and gets it back to Claiborne. Here's Baycott. We'll see what he does with it. The up and under. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
We were just talking about how we haven't really heard much from him lately, and he takes the ball and attacks downhill and gets to the free throw line for 2 to try to extend this lead for Petersburg as they get ready to head into half.
And for right now in his career, that's his game. You know, he is a slasher. He's a guy that's going to get slippery going in there. Those guys are really hard to guard as well.
Yeah.
Not too many people want to get out there and step out and guard a guy like him, especially being a freshman.
He's also one of those that can stand and catch and shoot and knock down a couple threes if he needs to.
So we need a trainer to the floor. There's blood on the floor. We're going to take a quick break. 38.9 left here in a second. We'll be back. Almost to halftime here in our third game of the day. This is the 5th day of the Geico City of Palms Classic. It's my 10th year of being here on the mic, and it never gets old. This is one of my favorite times. I love Christmas, but I love doing this around the Christmas time as well. It's really a lot of fun.
100%. This is my favorite time of year just because you don't have to worry about school. The kids can just focus strictly on basketball.
That's right. Baycott at the line. He knocked the first one down. The lefty will get one more. Hits it. 2 for 2 from the line is Baycott. Coming up on the 32nd mark before we head to halftime. And I think it's really important here for Calvary Christian just to get a really good shot, not necessarily a three. We're going to get a foul, a pushing foul on Nyland Robinson.
That's going to be 2 free throws for Bolden as Petersburg is over the fouls limit.
And you really didn't need that.
No, not at all.
He's well beyond the free throw line. And, you know, obviously he can do damage outside, but he's done most of his damage on the inside and close to the paint. And he is having an incredible game. Bolden, 18 points for him.
As Petersburg here with 26 seconds left, I think you get the ball and you try to hold it for one shot going into half.
I agree, and it's got to be something that can propel you. I'm not sure who will get it coming out. I can't remember who got the tip, but yeah, this is an important possession right now for Petersburg. They do lead by 1, but they need some momentum to carry them in to halftime. They kind of lost that a little bit to Calvary Christian.
Yeah, I think you have to try to get it to one of your bigs here, Baycott.
Nice look inside to Allman. Turns around, short arms it. Gavon with the tip. And how timely is that? He's been a little quiet and is able to get the tip. And that one, I thought it had a little bit, but it was far right of the rim. And we're going to go to halftime with Petersburg leading Calvary Christian by 3, 35-32. You're watching the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the second half. Starting the second half here with Calvary Christian getting the basketball. There is Daughtry. Ball goes rolling to Bolden. Nice look inside, and I believe they're going to get goaltending on that. But Calvary Christian came out looking a little bit different here with their ball movement. Bolden with a nice touch pass over to number 24, and I don't have that. Soriando, we didn't call his name much at all in the first half. And there goes Baycott. He thought he was fouled. They might call him for traveling here. He was coming wildly down the left-hand side, and it'll be a foul.
I really like the pressure that Petersburg came out and applied on the defensive end to start the half.
Yeah, I really do too. And, you know, I think you can feel a different sense of urgency from both teams here. And there's Gilvani, knocks it down. And I had just mentioned to you that he had kind of gone a little silent, and now he's picking up the pace. And that's a good sign if you're Coach White.
Yeah, we talked about the first half, how it's a luxury to have a 6'11" big that can space the floor and hit threes.
Bolden with the missed shot, and nobody put a body on Joshua Jones coming down the lane. Gil Vaughn is going to head to the free throw line, and he's a load to handle. 6'11", a slasher, slippery in the lane. He's just tough.
Yeah, had that not been a foul, that was a great block by Bolden on that end.
Aiden Bolden, speaking of, 19 points in the first half, led all scorers, led his team. And then for Petersburg, the leading scorer there was Gavon. And then King Baycott had 8. Correction, Allman had 11. So balanced scoring there for both. The shooting in the first half, 39% from the field for Calvary, but only 14% from the three-point line, which is very poor. They took 7 shots. And Petersburg shooting 50% from the field and 67% from the three, and that was a big difference in the game for them.
Yeah, and we just saw 3 by Caden Daughtry, who's had a couple big threes in the first half, and if he starts to heat up, that could be a lot of trouble for Petersburg.
And that is a foul on Daughtry. He was going tit for tat with King Baycott. Baycott number 5, only a freshman. Looks like he had the first step on Daughtry, and nothing for Daughtry to do is to foul.
One of the big stats for me that stands out from halftime is the turnovers. Petersburg has 8 turnovers to Calvary's 2, and points off turnovers. Calvary has 10 points off of their 8 turnovers, and Petersburg has not scored off of a turnover yet.
Wow, and that is huge considering Petersburg has the lead.
If they can clean up a couple turnovers here and there, they'll really start to pull away in this game.
Claiborne shot it, wouldn't go for him. Big rebound by Jones. He's going to take it down the lane all the way. Can't get it to drop. And Gil Vaughn has been super active to start this second half. I really like what I'm seeing there. Shot from the outside. Can he get it? No. Third shot opportunity, and there he is. The big guy, Allman, dominating the paint.
We talked about at halftime about these bigs need to get more involved on the offensive glass, and on that possession you saw Gavon get a hand on the offensive rebound, and then Allman finally put the ball away into the rim on another offensive rebound.
Yeah, I'm impressed with both of those guys, as I said earlier in the first half, and they both give you different things. You know, Gavon is a little more finesse. He's a slasher. Allman loves to get inside and mix it up, and that's a great combination to have, and that's why they've been so successful already this year. That shot drops for Daughtry.
He's now up to 13 points in the game. He had 9 points at halftime. So if he can continue at this pace in the second half, they have a really good chance to fight their way back in and end up winning this game.
Well, they're only down by 2. Gilvon with a big rebound there. You got to make your free throws. 42-40. Petersburg up by a bucket. King Baycott being guarded by Jones. Jones doing a really nice job on him. Like we said before, Baycott is a freshman. Really impressive. You got to take the good with the bad. He's going to make some mistakes. Gilvan is tied up by Bolden. And 8 on the shot clock. They've got to hurry here. And Baycott will toss it up, and we'll see here the 3 won't go. And hip checked out of bounds. That will be a foul on Claiborne. And that is 3 on Claiborne. And, you know, this style has put some pressure on Petersburg as Calvary has come out, and they've really tried to speed things up and move differently without the basketball. And it's really put some pressure here on Petersburg.
I think Petersburg has really let off the gas on the defensive end that they came out with. I feel if they pick up the pressure and intensity on the defensive end, they'll start to pull away on the offensive end as well.
Bolden had the right mindset there, but he traveled as he went into the lane among the trees. You know, Calvary really is outmatched when it looks to your interior guys with that height disadvantage. But they've been keeping pace with them. Pushing Allman out here past the three-point lane. He's going inside, double team, nowhere to go, and turn the ball over. Daughtry's going to challenge everybody, and he gets the basket. What a crafty player. Baycott's got to be careful, almost pushed off.
It's plays like that that can make you understand why he's a 20th ranked player in his class. Finishing over the 6'11", Ladarius Gavon in transition, going up for the block.
And now we have a foul on Gilvan. That's 3 on Gilvan. Excuse me, Gilvan. Baycott's going to take a seat just for a moment. Cameron Claiborne is in. Larry Walker hits the floor for Petersburg, number 1. Crenshaw out on top, guarding Jones, number 32 in white. And Calvary Christian, if you're just joining us, they're in the green, and Petersburg in the white unis. And slow to get up for Calvary Christian. It looked like Daughtry. I don't know if that's who that is or not. It is not. It's Jones. Correction, Jacob Zoo. And he knocks down the first one. So the pace has definitely picked up, and don't look now, but Calvary Christian has a 1-point lead. Missed free throw, and there he is. Bolden puts it down with authority.
He's been such a spark plug for them today. He's really plugged in and helped where he's needed to for this team.
And Zoo got his hands on that one as well. Calvary Christian is, you can really feel the momentum has shifted big time. Calvary Christian, and here's Daughtry. He's going to challenge Allman. Allman says, no, I don't think so.
On the other end of the floor, it looks like Gavon has hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, Gavon is favoring that left shoulder. It looked like it might have been bandaged up already, and you hate to see that. They cannot afford to lose him, as he is going to go back and possibly see a trainer in some pain.
Great block defensively down here for Allman, though. One-on-one wall up against Caden Daughtry going up for the layup.
You know, Trey, is it always wise to take it to the hoop like that? Obviously, you're trying to get the foul, but, you know, perhaps you set it up and you really value that possession a little differently than going in and challenging the big all the time. I don't know. I just think that you've got to make sure that you are putting an emphasis on every possession, because every one is going to count in this game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, it depends on if you have numbers or not. If you have another guy with you, then you try to slow it down and get a better shot. But if it's a one-on-one, sometimes it's worth the risk, especially if you are Caden Daughtry and you do have the ability to finish it against guys like that.
He just showed us he does. He finished that one. Beautiful shot. King Baycott back in the game for Petersburg. And Petersburg has not had an answer for Bolden or Calvary Christian here as this third quarter started. In fact, Calvary Christian has opened up a 5-point lead with 3:10 in the third.
And this is their biggest lead of the game up to this point. They've kind of been trying to fight back into the game and trailing from behind, and they took the lead with the free throw, and then Bolden's dunk to put them up 3 gave them their biggest lead of the game so far, and they're building off of that.
Xavier LeBron into the game for Calvary Christian, number 0. He is a 6-foot sophomore. You know, right now, Petersburg is just struggling just to get a basket here, get something to go right. And there's Daughtry again. Great look to Kenneth France Jr., and he just couldn't hang on to it.
If you're Petersburg, I'd like to see the ball go inside to Allman and get a good possession and get him a paint touch to get a bucket to get in the right column.
And I agree with you. It feels like they've kind of gone away from him just a little bit. I don't think it's intentional. But there he is, crashing the boards as Baycott hits the lane. He'll go to the free throw line.
That foul is going to be on Xavier LeBron.
Just came in the game and grabs his first foul.
That'll be his second foul.
Oh, okay, correction, in his second foul. This is the game 28 of the City of Palms Classic. Champion will be crowned tomorrow night. That'll be aired on ESPN2. And good to see number 4 back in the game, and that is Ladarius Gavon, 6'11", 230-pound senior, and he still has some tape on that left shoulder, still favoring it, but it's coming back in the game. That shot is missed by Baycott, and there he is. Bolden is just around everything. And the shot goes up from the outside. Why not? And he knocks it down. What a dangerous player.
He's having a monster game today. He has 24 right now. He had 19 in the first half.
Crenshaw from the side, count it, and he got fouled. And if any time you need that, it is now for Petersburg. That's a big shot.
Yeah. Bolden in the first half, he also not only had 19 points, but he drew 6 fouls, which is a big, big stat. And the coaches are out for Calvary Christian having a conversation with the official. Timeout, Calvary. We're going to take one as well. 2:15 left in the third. You're watching the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. They've been pretty evenly matched on paint points and second chance.
So huge basket by Crenshaw, who stands at the charity stripe right now, and he'll shoot one. That was a big-time three. And, man, what do they always tell you? You're a coach. Don't foul a shooter.
No, never.
Especially out beyond the arc. And we've seen it a lot here this week, more than I thought we would. But these players get so aggressive that they're challenging every shot.
Yeah, fouling a shooter is just a big momentum killer, too.
And when I say a shooter, I mean a shooter, a person who obviously can score it from the outside. Anybody can be a shooter, but that was a bad foul. Calvary Christian looking to get something going right now after that 4-point swing. It's 50-46. They lead by 4. Wow, off the back of the backboard. How about that for Zoo? Jacob Zoo, perfect off the backboard, and he knocked it down for 2. And with that, he collected his first foul. This is the first time you've seen Petersburg, I believe.
Yes.
What's your impression of Baycott right now?
He plays a lot older than he is. He plays very poised, very maturely. He does have a couple mistakes here and there that freshmen are going to make, but overall he plays very poised for a freshman.
And I would agree with that, and you can see why he is in the starting lineup. Not afraid to mix it up. You missed it before. We were talking about his brother, Armando Baycott. He also played for IMG. They came to this tournament. And the North Carolina Tar Heels. And that, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure where Nyland Robinson came from. He's just shot out of a cannon and jumping into the Calvary Christian player, and that's Daughtry. And Daughtry, if he's not careful, will be joining the MASH unit. But Nyland Robinson came down through the lane like a man possessed, trying to block that shot, and ended up committing a foul.
Yeah, that's his second foul. I feel like that's Petersburg's 5th foul as well, so they're over the limit. So is Calvary for the rest of this quarter. But I feel like they've really picked up the intensity in transition, trying to get back. Calvary's really pushing the ball offensively.
Yes.
And Petersburg's done a good job responding and getting back to try to stop that transition.
Yes, and, you know, once Calvary got the momentum, they continue to carry it here, and they're not backing down at all, whether they are oversized or not. They are forcing the action, and they're converting a lot on their shots. They're taking high percentage shots and really taking it to Petersburg.
A big thing for Petersburg is trying to keep Calvary off the line. At halftime, Calvary was 9 for 9 from the free throw line. They were shooting 100%. And so that has to be one of your big points as a coach. If you're the Petersburg coach, is trying to keep them off the line as much as possible.
There's Crenshaw. He's going to get called for the foul. Looked like he was over the back of Daughtry. And is it fair to say free throws win ball games?
100%. Especially in close games. If you can convert, they will end up winning games for you down the stretch.
They really do, yeah. They really do. It's about possession of the basketball, how you use them, and also you got to hit your free throws. And you got to rebound. There's a lot of things, I guess, that you need to do, but those are really the 3 most important things, I feel, of the game.
We've also seen it a lot at this tournament, offensive rebounding at the free throw line.
Yes.
That has been a very big thing at this tournament
so frustrating.
Far.
If you're a coach, and one of your players does that, I'm sure you want to pull your hair out.
100%. This should be one of the easiest defensive rebounds in the game.
Gavon back in the game. Also, we see Claiborne coming back for Petersburg. Hey, thanks for joining us here today on League Ready. It's the Geico City of Palms Classic. It's the 52nd annual, Trey. This event has been around for 52 years, which is amazing. And Daughtry short arms that one.
It's crazy when you think that it's around for 52 years, especially with the reputation that it's built, and it always seems to drag in the top teams in the country.
By far, it never disappoints, and neither does this game here. This is a consolation semifinal game. The winner will face Columbus. Nice move inside by Allman. Latrell Allman has really been a dominant presence in the paint, matching Bolden. And how about this one? Challenging above the rim is Daughtry. And we have a kick ball Petersburg will keep possession.
That shows some heart from Daughtry at 6'2", trying to challenge Almond at 6'9" at the rim.
And, you know, I felt like he really got up, too, above the rim.
It was a great contest without fouling by Almond for sure.
It really was. It really was. And the heart to go do that again is just, you know, Daughtry's really shown me something. Once again, I've not seen these guys play. I'm really impressed. I really am impressed. Good position inside. Almond won't be denied. Second chance opportunity. He's just like a man among boys inside, even though you've got our guy in there, Bolden. Bolden didn't really want any parts of that.
No, Bolden's also giving up a couple inches and some weight as well, especially with Gavon and Almond out there. And if they want to fight their way back into the game, I think that's going to be a big point of contention for them in the fourth quarter.
And the third quarter has ended. And Calvary Christian with the 7-point lead over Petersburg. We'll be back for the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Geico City of Palms Classic on League Ready. Eight minutes left here to decide who moves on to play Columbus High School out of Miami. It's 58-51. Calvary Christian with the 7-point lead. Baycott will lead the charge here with Petersburg in the white, Calvary Christian in the green. And we talked about it. The momentum clearly has shifted. Almond has been the leader for Petersburg today. He gets fouled going in. That's Bolden. Has his hands up. But no one has really been able to stop Almond on the inside. He's owned the interior. So that's 4 on Daughtry, and that is a problem, especially since we're right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. He's really going to have to play controlled basketball.
Yeah, Bolden also has 3 fouls, and Francis Jr. also has 3 fouls for Calvary. So they have some guys who are in foul trouble early in this fourth quarter.
And Daughtry, I would call him, and this is complimentary saying this, is he's a gunslinger. You know, he likes to take chances, and he's going to have to be really conservative now in his play. So pressure by Petersburg, and I really like this pressure now. I think this is a good time to do this. And there he is, going right around Baycott for 2. Made it look easy. Baycott really didn't give much effort there to play D. Hands are important here. You got to catch the basketball. And that was Kelvin Anderson that let it go right through his hands.
Yeah, if you're looking to try to fight your way back into this game as Petersburg, you can't be giving up open lanes like this and throwing turnovers in transition. You have to take care of the ball and try to contest everything you can.
100% true. And there, as you're saying, that Zoo goes right through the lane, really untouched for the easy 2. Zoo is a 6-foot senior. There's Allman, and he went up and down. It's a travel. But clearly you see that he is drawing a lot of attention. He's getting triple teamed. So not only does he have to be an offensive threat, he's really got to make sure that he has great court vision, because there will be other people open when he's triple teamed.
I'd like to see Allman try to contest some shots at the rim. He has 0 fouls so far this game, so he still has all 5 fouls to give, whereas Gavon has 3 fouls, so he has to be a little more cautious trying to contest shots.
Daughtry collects the foul, and that could be a technical if Baycott doesn't collect himself. That's the second on Baycott.
It was a good job by Daughtry drawing contact and trying to get the foul on the shot.
Yeah, very crafty player. You got to appreciate someone that, you know, this is going to sound so bad. He really doesn't pass the eye test when you look at it. When you look at him, but he has huge heart. He's quick. He's fast. He's got great leaping ability. Just a really all-around good player.
Yeah, he's a very well-rounded player. He plays hard on the defensive end too, which it's hard to find sometimes in some of the smaller guys.
That shot is up and good.
He's up to 26 points now in the game. Bolden has 24 for them, which have been 2 key components in their game today.
Absolutely. Bolden carried them through the first half, and Daughtry has really been superb in the second half. And he's going to take a seat. They are going to remain cautious. They're going to need him toward the end of the game for sure. I think this one will be closer out, even though it's a 10-point lead now for Calvary Christian. Nice look underneath for Gavon, and he puts it in for 2. We'll get a quick timeout by Petersburg and Coach White. We'll take one as well. 6:16 left. We'll be right back. Coming out of the timeout, as you noticed, Trey, you said right away, Daughtry is back in this game. He's got 4 fouls.
Yeah, he's a key component for them today, especially in the second half. He's been pushing the ball in transition, getting downhill, allowing easy passes like that, playing selfless, especially when he has teammates cutting to the rim.
Wow, what a look by Daughtry. He found the open player in Kenneth Francis Jr. Daughtry's got to be careful. He swatted at that ball with Allman, and they're getting out and running. Bolden with the basketball. They got to get it up court. Certainly don't want a 10-second count. Xavier LeBron in there with Bolden, Zoo, and Kenneth Francis for Calvary Christian. The jumper for Zachary. Can he nail it? No. And right now, Petersburg is just struggling to find a basket, and struggle no more as Claiborne knocks down a 3 for the Crimson Wave. And they desperately needed that.
That was a good contest at the rim by Allman without fouling, walling straight up, making Bolden miss, and then grabbing the rebound and coming down in transition.
Good look inside, but there's Bolden. Tipped the ball and then threw it off of Allman. What a heads-up play. And Calvary Christian gets the basketball.
And that's the energy and intensity that he's been providing for them all day. and which has carried them through the first half, and he's still making small plays like that in the second half that have a big impact on the game.
So you said something earlier, Allman really, you'd like to see him contest more shots, and I agree with your assessment. Has 0 fouls in there, and I think it is an opportunity for him to kind of showcase his physicality a little bit too and make people think about coming in the lane. They've been coming in untouched. Shot goes up, and it is no good by LeBron. Gavon with the rebound. Tweaked his left shoulder. It looks like he's still favoring it. One to play in this game. Shot is no good. One and done for the Crimson Wave.
Yeah,
4 minutes left here.
If you're Petersburg in this situation, you don't just want to try to settle for threes because the game is to a point where it can still be close.
I know you said you wanted Ullman to get more physical. That was a cheap one there. Kind of baited into that foul out there in no man's land.
Yeah, Daughtry does a really good job of creating contact and drawing fouls.
Yeah, he really does. He's an outstanding player. Got to get the ball in, and I believe we had a timeout. We're going to take one as well. 3:55 left here. It's the Geico City of Palms Classic. We've got a good one. Don't go anywhere with Calvary Christian leading by 5. The winner goes on to face Columbus. Calvary Christian with the 5-point lead. They also have the basketball. Trey, your assessment from this game overall?
I think coming into this game, Petersburg's best chance to win this game would have been their big play. Calvary Christian has very good guard play, and so Petersburg's guards have been more limited, whereas if you look at their bigs have 23 points for Allman, and Gavon has double digits as well. So I think that would have been their best bet to try to win this game, and they still have time to do that, only being down 5 with just under 4 minutes left.
I think there's more. There's a lot of time here for both teams to put it together. Definitely Petersburg to come back. It's not an insurmountable lead, but the way, like you said, is that really Calvary Christian's guards have been playing. They're carrying them, and right now they've been dominant. Or I should just say, the big guy, Daughtry, Caden Daughtry, has been dominant.
And it looks like they're going box and one on Daughtry and putting Almond on Daughtry and just full out denying in the half court.
Shot from the outside doesn't go, and Daughtry snags a rebound. And yes, with Gavon on him, the 6'11" player. And now they switch off, and now Baycott is back on Daughtry. But Daughtry has handled Baycott. He's gotten around him whenever he wants.
Yeah, it looks like right now Calvary's just trying to run as much of the shot clock as they can down with a 5-point lead before taking a shot.
Under 10 seconds right now. And it's a good move to do that. Nice low dribble by Zoo to get what he wanted. Squares those shoulders up and shoots it and made it. Zoo really put on a good performance as well as Gavon, and misses it. Daughtry for the rebound. He and Zoo are just so complimentary of each other. Nice look in the corner. Going to be a foul on Anderson. So time is becoming an issue here. 2:23 left. Only a 7-point lead, though. So 3-possession game.
Yeah, if you're Petersburg and you continue to get stops, you have to convert on the other end. Doesn't have to be a quick 3, just a quick bucket, 2-pointer, get inside, score the ball, come back, get another stop, and then go down and score again. And it cuts it to a 3-point game real quick.
Timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. 2:23 in the fourth. We'll be back. It's the Geico City Palm Classic. 65-58 is where we stand with 2:23 left in the fourth. JB here with Trey. And Trey, it's been the Caden Daughtry show for Calvary Christian.
Especially in the second half. First half was the Bolden show. Second half has been the Daughtry show. And they've both carried this team in their respective halves and done a very good job leading.
Zoo with a nice pass to Bolden. How about that? That is a highlight reel slam.
He's been very consistent all day. He's been very consistent.
67-58. Gavon misses that. One and done. No second chance opportunities where they were getting all the loose balls in the first half, now getting none. Claiborne on Zoo. It's a nice little matchup. Get it into Francis. Did he drag his foot or is he pushed? And that's going to be the second foul on Allman. So you wish for it, now you got it. He's got 2 fouls.
Not the way we would have wanted them.
Not at all. No. Those are touch fouls. I think we want him to put some body on some of these players going in the lane. Nice thought by Bolden. They caught Allman kind of out of position. Thought he might have traveled. The referee gave him the benefit of the doubt. Now we have a foul. And I believe that is on Zoo. I'm not quite sure. So it's Joshua Jones. And you said it right. Petersburg just has to score and get a defensive stop. And there's Allman. And quickly, Petersburg takes a timeout with 1:25 left here, down by 7. We'll take one as well. We'll be right back. Both teams heading back out onto the floor. And Trey, we were both talking a little bit of, what's the next step here for Petersburg? What are you looking for? Time is ticking away. You're down by 7. And, you said maybe they start fouling. And looking at the Calvary Christian team, who would you foul?
Yeah, especially if you're Petersburg with a minute 25, you have to start evaluating playing the foul game to try to draw this game out as long as possible. If I'm the Petersburg coach, I'm looking to probably foul number 0, Xavier LeBron, because Daughtry and Bolden have both had really big games. Zoo's starting to heat up from the outside, so I'm either fouling Francis or LeBron just to try to send somebody to the line who hasn't been super active today.
Yeah, I agree. Francis is the one that I would send to the line, and the other 3 are somewhat money, is wasting a lot of time here, which is good. 4 seconds left. Daughtry. And that might be the dagger that does it, 69-60, with under 50 seconds left. Claiborne with a big 3. Cameron Claiborne with a huge shot. Down 6, 43.6 left. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back here with League Ready. 69-63 is where we stand with Calvary Christian in control. Got the lead. They really have to get this ball in. It's important. I'm sure they're looking for the foul here. If you're Petersburg, you definitely are going to foul, which is Claiborne. He fouled Zoo, and that's a tough one. I don't know that that's the foul, but Zoo was right there and got the ball.
Yeah, if you're Petersburg, you have to try to limit Zoo from getting the ball and make LeBron go get the ball and then foul him.
Easier said than done, though, as both Zoo and Daughtry just move well without the ball. They're all over the floor. And Zoo knocks the first one down.
Yeah, and we were talking about during the timeout, Calvary came out really slow out of the gates. They lost the first quarter 18-9, and then they started to find themselves in the second quarter, put up 23 points in the second quarter, and since then they've just been on a heater and came back to take this lead and are now up by 7 with 42 seconds left.
Yeah, no matter what Petersburg throws at them, it's just not enough. You know, Calvary Christian finds a way to score, and they're just finding open spaces, and Baycott taking a lot of time here to dribble. You got to get a shot up, and that one won't go, and the rebound was touched out of bounds. I believe was tipped out by Calvary Christian, so 32.5 seconds. A lot of dribbling there by your freshman Baycott.
Yeah, and that's something that comes with experience, is understanding that you can't take this time to dribble. You have to get to a spot and be efficient with your dribbles.
Allman is left open. Can't hit the three. Gavon got fouled. That's the last thing you want to do, and that was on Bolden. And that is 4 on Bolden. So Ladarius Gavon will go to the line. He'll shoot 2. And once again, you don't want to stop the clock and allow someone to score some points here. 28 seconds could be an eternity as Gavon knocks the first one down. 7-point game. He makes this one. It can be a 2-possession game. And you just gotta continue to foul. As that ball's tossed in, you can't allow any seconds to tick off the clock.
Yeah, you have to be quick to foul.
So it's a 6-point lead, 71-65. No foul. There's a steal. Gavon puts it down. How about that? That certainly did not go the way that Calvary Christian wanted it. It was almost like time stood still there, and the only one was moving was Gavon.
Yeah.
And he was moving.
That's one thing you can't afford if you're Calvary in that situation, is to turn over straight to a basket with very little time coming off the clock.
4-point lead with 23.5 seconds left. And that was a huge mental breakdown for Calvary Christian.
Yeah, if I'm the Calvary coach right now, I'm telling them, get the ball in, be strong with the ball, expect Petersburg to try to force a jump ball.
Right.
And if not, then they're going to foul. So just be strong with the ball, stay composed, and don't allow any more turnovers.
So timeouts. Petersburg is out of timeouts. And Calvary has 1 left.
Calvary also has one more foul to give before the bonus for Petersburg. So if Petersburg does get the ball, they have the opportunity to foul to try to slow the ball down.
And that's very notable. That's something that you've got to be thinking about. And I'm sure that Coach McSweeney went over that. Foul is going to send Zoo once again to the line.